Good morning, students, and welcome back to my channel, Mom is Nursing Care. Today, we will be discussing about the temperature variations from the fundamentals of nursing. So, it is the very important topic, so temperature variations in the body according to the time of the day. Temperature goes up and down. So, lowest temperature in the morning from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Lowest temperature in the morning from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. because the body of the human being during the night is in the resting period while they are sleeping. So when we do more activities, the temperature goes up, and when we eat food, when body metabolism takes place, even further temperature increases. When we are exposing to the sunlight, or even when we are walking on the ground may radiate some heat that absorbed from the sun into our body. So that's how during the daytime our body temperature is more, especially in the evening. By the end of the day, the temperature will be high temperature during the evening from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. because we are all exposed to the sunrise or to the ground or by doing activities, and after eating food, due to the metabolism, some heat will produce. So these all the things will contribute to the highest temperature in the evening and lowest in the morning because our body is mostly inactivated, and even metabolism also calm, and all the systems are most of the systems are calm, especially like the digestive system. So the remaining involuntary muscles like heart and lungs will be functioning. The time for the myocardial infarction, heart attack, the people who are suffering from the myocardial infarction, yeah, the reason for the myocardial infarction most of the time is smoking and alcoholic. So those people, infarction means the necrotization of the myocardial tissue. That means the myocardial tissue is lost its function because of less blood circulation to the myocardium. So these type of heart attacks takes place during the morning hours, especially from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Most common type of heart attack that is associated with the myocardial infarction takes place during 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. because, as I already told you, that the lowest temperature in the morning, and this lowest temperature leads to further less blood circulation to the myocardium, thus it leads to the myocardial infarction. And if you observe here in this graph, we can see that the temperature is low in the midnight, and it is 2 to 4 it is low, and it is climbing up. The graph is climbing up and to the highest peak level at 12 to 4 o'clock, and even at 6 o'clock also it is high only, and from that 6 o'clock it is coming to down again, and it will reach to the lowest temperature again by 12 o'clock in the midnight. So that is how our body temperature rises and falls according to the time of the day, because these all the activities causes the fluctuations in our temperature. And if we see the difference between the blood temperature and the body temperature, there will be a minus 0.5 degree Celsius difference, because our body temperature is not as the same as our blood temperature. Blood temperature is usually 37.5 degrees Celsius, but whereas our body temperature, if we exclude minus zero point 0.5 Celsius, then our blood temperature, our body temperature is 37 degree Celsius, and that it is usual. It is not an abnormal, but it is usual. And after ovulation means like in the females, in the girls or in the women's, the temperature rises according to the ovulation and menstrual cycle. Let us learn about those changes. After ovulation, body temperature slowly rises. After ovulation, what does it mean? Ovulation is nothing but the release of the ovum from the uh, ovary is called as ovulation. Release of ovum means the egg, female egg from the ovary is called as ovulation. So during ovulation, after ovulation means immediately after ovulation, body temperature slowly rises just because the rising of the progesterone, the level of the progesterone level is high. That is the reason after ovulation body temperature rises. Even before menstruation also, that means the period between menstrual flow and the ovulation, the temperature is more, about plus zero point 0.5 Celsius. About plus 0.5 Celsius is more than our normal body temperature. During ovulation and just before menstrual period, the temperature rises just because of increased amount of the progesterone level, the hormone. Okay, during menstrual period also the temperature comes down. Why? Because the progesterone level is fallen down, and besides the blood flow is going on. So that is the reason during menstrual period temperature decreases to the minus zero point 0.5 degree Celsius to minus 1 degree Celsius less than our body temperature. Minus 0.5 to zero point 0.1 degree Celsius, it reduces or it decreases than the normal body temperature. And we known to the variations of the time of the day about the temperature. So let us learn how we will check the temperature. By using the thermometer, we will check the temperature. We use thermometer to check the temperature, and for the competitive purpose it is very important for us to learn how the thermometer came into action and who invented different thermometers. Glass thermometer was invented by the Thomas Clifford. Glass thermometer was invented by the Thomas Clifford. Thomas Clifford. And clinical thermometer, that means that we are using regularly, that bulb thermometer was invented by the Albert. Clinical thermometer was invented by the Albert. Oral thermometer. Oral thermometer was invented by the long slender bulb. Long slender bulb, who is the one who invented our oral thermometer. Nowadays we are not using oral thermometer, but we are using the digital thermometer. That means the clinical thermometer we are using now. The oral thermometer and the glass thermometer is, we are just showing for the students that were in use previously, but they are not in clinically, they are not at presently they are using. Now let us learn about the formula for conversion, temperature conversion from Fahrenheit to Celsius and Celsius to Fahrenheit. So two formulas that we have to remember here, and this is also very much important for the exam purpose. So Fahrenheit to Celsius changing formula is the temperature in Fahrenheit minus 32 into 5 divided by 9 is equal to Celsius. The Fahrenheit to Celsius formula is Fahrenheit temperature in Fahrenheit minus 32 into 5 divided by 9. into 5 divided by 9 is equal to Celsius. And Celsius to Fahrenheit temperature, Celsius, the temperature in Celsius into 9 by 5 plus 32. Temperature in Celsius into 9 by 5 plus 32 is the formula to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. And about mercury thermometer, the mercury thermometer was invented by the Gabriel. The mercury thermometer was invented by the Gabriel. And air thermometer was invented by the Galileo. The air thermometer is invented by the Galileo. Air thermometer is used by these general people, those who wanted to check the temperature of the air, that how much humidity is there and how much how much heat it is there in the atmosphere. To measure this atmospheric temperature, we are in these days also we are using air thermometer that was invented by Galileo. So here the oral temperature and the rectal temperature is called as the most accurate temperature. Oral and the rectal temperature is called as the most accurate temperature because there is no chance of mismeasuring the temperature because they are core temperatures. I will discuss about what core temperature is and what is Schall temperature is. So the core temperature is nothing but we are taking the temperature inside, means like from the orifices we are taking the temperature. That is the reason we call these both measurements as accurate measurements, means correct measurement, correctly they will give the reading. And axillary and groin temperature is called as the least accurate temperature. These questions are very much important for the competitive exams because they will ask which is the most accurate temperature and which is the least accurate temperature. So axillary and groin temperature is called as the least accurate temperature because there is a chance of misplacing the thermometer or exposure of the thermometer bulb to the atmosphere rather than to the body. And in case of children, there is a children movement, there will be children movement. So that is the reason mostly the oral temperature checking they will use for the children. And oral temperature and the tympanic temperature normal rate is 98.6 Fahrenheit, 98.6 Fahrenheit and 37 degree Celsius. In Celsius, 37 degree Celsius is the normal temperature in oral and tympanic temperature. And these both temperatures are the most commonly used all around the globe. All around the globe, this tympanic temperature and the oral temperature is the most commonly using, and we need not to add any one degree or 1 Fahrenheit to this temperature because oral and tympanic temperature is giving exactly the normal temperature. We need not to add either or we need not to -1. Rectal temperature is normal is 99.6 Fahrenheit and 37.5 Celsius. Sorry for the mistakenly typed here and for the spelling mistake. Then rectal temperature 99.6 Fahrenheit and 37.5 degrees Celsius is the normal here. So what we have to do here means we'll have to do -1. -1 we have to do here because this is the rectal temperature. Rectal temperature gives us a 1 degree more than the normal as it is a core temperature. And axillary and groin temperature will be 97.6. That means 1 degree Fahrenheit is less than the normal body temperature. It gives the normal. That means axillary and groin temperature normal rate is 97.6 degree Fahrenheit is the normal temperature in the axillary and groin. And we'll have to add +1. We'll have to add +1. core temperature, as I already explained you that core temperature means body internal from the orifices we are collecting the temperature, that is called as the core temperature. Here the question may arise, what do you mean by core temperature? So the meaning is we are measuring the temperature from the orifices of the body or internal or inside of the body is called as core temperature. And shell temperature means surface from the surface we are collecting the temperature. So core temperature example is oral temperature, and for shell temperature example is axillary temperature and groin temperature. Axillary temperature and groin temperature we can take as an example for the shell temperature. To take the axillary and groin temperature, we must keep the thermometer in place for 1 to 3 minutes. To check axillary or groin temperature, we must keep the thermometer in place for 1 to 3 minutes. Then only it can give the accurate measurement. Nowadays, however, digital thermometers has come into act. So once it is measurement is done, it will give alarm for us to remove the thermometer and check it. And rectal thermometer must kept for 1 to 2 minutes. Rectal thermometer must kept in place for 1 to 2 minutes. So to check the rectal temperature, we'll have to give the patient position lateral position will have to give for the adults, but whereas for the newborns and for the children we can give them prone position and will insert and check it. And one more thing is that the rectal temperature checking may cause the bradycardia, sorry for the type, and bradycardia, that means less than the 60 beats per minute. The heart rate decreases less than the 60 beat per minute because of the vagus nerve stimulation. The vagus nerve, which is the one supplies stimulation from the brain to the intestines, because of its stimulation it causes the bradycardia. And tympanic temperature must check for 1 to 3 seconds. Tympanic temperature will have to check for 1 to 3 seconds. So nowadays two things has come into the hospital to check the temperature. Those are heat sensitive tape one. Second is teladot. Heat sensitive tape. It is having the temperature sensitive tape contains the indicators that we can check by applying on forehead or abdomen. Heat sensitive tape is having the sensitive dots, like when you attach that tape on abdomen or forehead, it gives the temperature indicates a particular dot that is having a measurement numbers, that it is having measuring numbers. By that we can directly record the temperature that was indicated on the heat sensitive tape. And heat sensitive tape can be used on the forehead or abdomen. And one more thing is teladot. So it is also having a like a dot type measuring tape. So it is the most accurate measuring tape. It gives, but only it gives, the thing is plus or minus 0.2 Fahrenheit or plus or minus 0.1 degree Celsius than the normal temperature. That means if it is given like 98. Like if it is given 98.4 means we'll have to add 0.2 Fahrenheit to its value. By that we'll get the normal temperature. So to check the oral temperature by the teladot, to measure the temperature by using the teladot or teladot, we'll have to keep for 60 seconds in oral temperature. We'll have to keep for 60 seconds in oral temperature, and axillary temperature we'll have to keep it for 3 minutes. We'll have to check axillary temperature, teladot will have to keep it for 3 minutes. For rectal temperature also we'll have to keep teladot tape for 3 minutes in place. By that it will gives the accurate measurement. This is how heat sensitive tape looks like, and they're checking on the forehead. And next one picture is the tempo dot picture, and these both are disposable type of temperature measuring tapes. And thanks for watching, and thanks for your support. Please like, subscribe and share to your friends. By that I will get interest to do more more videos. Thank you.